Hello children, welcome to our today's session of geography. Children, in the last session we were learning about lesson number 1, the earth in its solar system. Now today we will be going through lesson number 2, globe, latitudes and longitudes. So today the topics we are going to cover is globe, what is globe and what are the features of globe. Next, what are the parallels of latitudes? Again, we will see the important parallels of latitudes. Next topic, we will be going through the different heat zones of the earth. Again, we will see about the meridians. What are the meridians of longitudes? Then we will see how longitudes help to calculate time. And lastly, we will be seeing why do we have our standard time or what is this standard time. So children, let us start our lesson. Okay. This picture, okay. This picture is about earth and globe, right. So children, this earth, okay, it rotates around its axis and it takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. So children, what is this rotation and how does it rotates around its axis? So to make it more clear, let us see with this example. Okay children. So this is a ball, right, and I have inserted a needle. Okay, a needle is inserted fixed through this ball and this ball now it is moving, right, it is moving around this needle. So in geographical terms, let us assume that this ball is an earth, right, and this needle that is inserted is its axis. Actually we cannot see that, actually we cannot see the axis, but the earth, it rotates around an imaginary line, right. This needle, it is an imaginary line of this earth around which it rotates. So this is called the rotation and this needle, it is called the axis, right. So this needle, it is fixed inside this ball and this is the axis of this ball or axis of this earth we can call, and thus the earth, it rotates around this axis. It takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. Understood now what do you mean by axis? What do you mean by rotation? And this tip, this is called the north pole and this is called the south pole of the earth. Now children, to make the concept more clear, now I cannot show you each and everything about earth, right, we cannot study like this. So to refer this earth, to explain you in more details about this earth, I will show you this. Come on, tell me what is this children? Yes, this is a globe, right. So this globe, it is used to refer the earth, structure of the earth. Now see, let us see the importance of the globe. Okay, what is the importance of this globe? So this globe, it is a true model of the earth. Okay, it tells us the exact shape of the earth. Earth we cannot see we cannot see. So this globe, it helps us to know the exact shape of the earth. So to refer to know more about the earth, we can refer this globe, and it is a 3D dimensional, okay, it is 3-dimensional model of the earth, and this represents earth in its true original spherical shape, and it can be rotated. See children, it can be rotated on a fixed axis. Okay, here also one needle is passed through this globe and this needle is called the axis, and this globe, it rotates around this axis just like the earth. On this globe, we can see the continents, okay, we can see the continents and we can also see the oceans properly in the true shape and correct size. Children, there are different types of globes, okay. There are big globes which cannot be carried easily. For example, this one, this is a big globe which I cannot carry easily. Then there are also small globes, okay. There are small globes which we can carry easily, and one more type of globe is there, that is called as globe like balloons, okay. They can be inflated, they are handy and they are easy to carry. So children, now what we have seen? We have seen the importance of globe. Actually, what is globe? It is a true model of the earth. It represents earth in its correct shape and position. Then it is a 3D model of earth. It can be rotated from west to east. It shows the continents, it shows the oceans. Then there are different types of globes, big globe, small globe and globe like balloons. Now children, let us see some geographical features of this globe, okay. So what are the geographical features of this globe? So first one is axis, okay. So children, what is this axis? As I have told you, this axis, this is needle, okay, a needle that is inserted inside this globe is called the axis, and the earth it rotates around this axis. So this the globe is inclined, it is little tilted at 23.5 degree, okay, on side like earth, understood. Now to tell you more about this axis, a needle is fixed in a tilted manner. Again it passes through 2 points, children, okay. This needle, it passes through 2 points, that is North Pole and South Pole. This globe, it rotates on the axis just like the earth, understood. As how earth rotates around this axis, same way the globe also rotates around its axis. But children, earth does not have any such needle, understood. It does not have any such needle. It moves on its own axis, which is an imaginary line. Now next one we will see what is North Pole and where is South Pole. So to the northmost point, North Pole is the northmost point of the earth, okay. North Pole is to the northmost point of the earth and South Pole is to the southernmost point of the earth, and this is denoted by SP, children, okay. South Pole is denoted by SP and North Pole it is denoted by NP. Then we will see continents, okay. As you know, how many continents are there on earth? There are 7 continents, 7 large land masses on the earth. So what are these continents, children? The continents are Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica and Australia. So you can see all these 7 continents on the globe, okay. These are the 7 continents on the globes. Again this globe shows us oceans, right. So how many oceans are there? There are 5 oceans. What are they? They are, see this blue color, children, okay. This blue color, it represents the ocean. So Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean and Antarctic Ocean. These are the 5 oceans which we can see on this globe, and among this Pacific Ocean is the biggest, largest ocean, and this body of saline water is near about 74% on the earth, understood. So 74% of the water is covered on the earth. So these were some geographical features of the globe. So again we will repeat, what are the geographical features of the globe? First one axis, then North Pole, third one South Pole, again continents and last one oceans. Now our next topic is, children, latitudes, okay. First, parallels of latitudes. So children, on this globe we can see these horizontal lines, right, or these circles. These circles, they are called the latitudes, okay, and there are many such circles. So all these circles are called parallels of latitudes. Now why they are called parallels? Because they do not intersect, okay. These circles, they do not intersect each other. So they are called as parallels of latitudes. Now children, see here in the picture, here at the center, okay, this at the center we will have a great circle, means this is the biggest circle of the globe, and this biggest circle is called an equator, right, or it is also called as a great circle. So this equator is an imaginary circular line running on the globe that divides two parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So this is the biggest circle, children, okay, and this circle is called the equator, and this equator it divides into the globe into two parts. Upper part of this equator is called the northern hemisphere, and the south part of this equator is called southern hemisphere. Okay. Now you understood what is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere? Yes. Now children, next point, there are 90 parallels of latitude at northern hemisphere to the north of equator, and 90 parallels of latitudes at southern hemisphere. Means what, children? See, this is the equator. So total above this equator in the northern hemisphere we will have total 90, okay, 90 parallels of latitudes are there. See this, okay, this is 20 degree, N means north, again 40 degree, again 60 degree, then 80 degree, and last one is 90 degree. So how many parallels of latitudes are there? There are 90 parallels of latitude in the north hemisphere, and same way even in the south there are 90 parallels of latitude, again 20 degree, then 40 degree, again 60, then 80, and then 90 degree, okay, that is the south pole. So now how many numbers of parallels are there? There are total 180 parallels of latitude, okay. 90 parallels are in the northern hemisphere to the north pole, and plus 90 parallels are to the south hemisphere in the south pole. So together we get 180 parallels of latitudes, okay. Now as the circles, see children, each parallel of latitudes are circles. Can you see here, they are in the shape of the circle, right? Like this circle, they are in the shape of full circles. And these circles, these latitudes are not of equal length, children, okay. These circles which you can see, they are not of equal length. See this, they are decreasing as they go towards the poles, their sizes are decreasing, okay. They become smaller and smaller when they move towards the pole. So all these latitudes, are they of equal size? No, they are not of equal length. They become smaller and smaller as they move towards the pole, and so that's why this affects the weather and climate. Now all these parallel circles from equator to the poles are called parallels of latitudes. Understood? So from this equator, all these latitudes, all these parallel circles from equator to the poles, they are called as parallels of latitudes. So what are parallels of latitudes? The parallel circles from equator to the poles are called as parallels of latitudes. Now all parallels from north of equator are north latitudes, okay. So these parallels in the north of the equator, to the north of this equator, are called as north latitudes, and to the south of the equator they are called as south latitudes. So whenever we are writing the degrees, we mention this S, okay. Below this equator means it is to the south of the globe. So the value of each latitude is denoted by the letter N or S. So hope now you understood, children, what are these parallels of latitudes. So total there are 90 parallels of latitude to the north side to the north pole in the northern hemisphere, and there are 90 parallels to the south in the southern hemisphere. And so that's why we get total 180 parallels of latitudes. And these circles, they are not equal in length. Their length, it goes on decreasing. See the size of the circles, they go on decreasing when they move towards the poles. And this equator, it is the largest circle on this globe, and its measure is 0 degree. Okay children, equator is 0 degree. All these parallel circles from equator to the poles are called as parallels of latitudes. Then all the parallels to the north are called as north latitudes, and to the south of the equator are called as south latitudes, and they are denoted by the letter N and by the letter S. Now hope you understood this parallels of latitudes. Okay. Now this, I think, now see this image. Okay children, this is the north side and below the equator is the south pole. Here the circles are going on decreasing towards the poles, and this center is the largest circle, which we called as equator. This is measured as 0 degree. Now children, I am going to show you the video.
Latitudes are the line running across the earth horizontally. These parallel lines on the globe from equator up to the pole are at equal distance and are measured in degree. The latitude lines north of the equator are called northern latitude, while the latitude lines south of the equator are known as southern latitude.
Yeah. So children, we have seen the video of parallels of latitudes. Okay. Now we will come to know some important latitudes. Okay. There are 5 main latitudes on the globe. So what are these 5 important latitudes children? So first important latitude is the equator. This is equator. Okay. This is the most important latitude. Its measure is 0 degree. Then its measure is 0 degree. Then the length is 40,075 kilometer, and it is an imaginary line that divides into north hemisphere and south hemisphere. It is also known as great circle. Okay, it is also known as great circle. It passes through the torrid zone, which receives maximum amount of sunlight, and here the sun is overhead twice a year. So Tropic of Cancer, it is here children. Okay, so equator, it passes through the torrid zone that receives maximum amount of heat, and here the sun is overhead twice a year. Then second important latitude is Tropic of Cancer. So Tropic of Cancer, looks children, it is here. It is situated at 23.5 degree north. Okay, Tropic of Cancer is situated at 23.5 degree north in the northern hemisphere. Again, third important latitude is Tropic of Capricorn. This Tropic of Capricorn is located at 23.5 degree south in the southern hemisphere. Again, fourth important latitude is Arctic Circle children. Okay, this is the Arctic Circle, this area, and it is located at 66.5 degree north. And the last one is Antarctic Circle. It is located at 66.5 degree to the south of the equator. So these are the 5 important latitudes. Okay, again we will see. First one, equator at 0 degree. Second one, Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degree north. Then third one, below the equator, Tropic of Capricorn It is located at 23.5 degree south. Then fourth one is Arctic Circle, 66 and a half degree north, and the last one is Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degree south. So hope now you understood this clearly, children. What are the 5 important latitudes? Okay, now see this diagram clearly. Okay, it shows all the important latitudes. So first one is, come on say, yes, first one is equator at 0 degree, then second Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north, then Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree south, then fourth one Arctic Circle, 66.5 degree north, then Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degree south. So these were our 5 important latitudes. So this was till we have seen what are latitudes and what are the important latitudes. So there were 5 important latitudes, and among them equator is the most important latitude that divides the earth into 2 parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Now we will see what are the heat zones. So heat zones, children, heat zones are present. Why? They are present due to the difference in sun rays received by the earth. Okay. So therefore we have 3 different heat zones. How many heat zones we have? 3 different heat zones. They are, first one we will see torrid zone, then temperate zone, and third one frigid zone. Okay. So torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. So let us see the location of these zones. Now first one, this torrid zone. This torrid zone, children, see where is torrid zone? Here. Okay. So it lies between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. This torrid zone, it is lying between which 2 important latitudes? It is lying, this torrid zone, it's lying between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Then children, this part, okay, it receives maximum heat. Okay, it receives maximum heat. Why? Because here the sun, can you see this picture of sun? Okay, here the midday sun is exactly overhead at least once a year on all the latitudes between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Now understood why this torrid zone, it receives maximum this portion. Okay, this is the torrid zone. Okay, so why this portion receives maximum heat? Because see here the sun rays. Okay, the sun rays are falling directly. Okay, the sun ray, it receives maximum heat as the midday sun is exactly overhead at least once a year on all the latitudes between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So that's why this area means torrid zone, it receives maximum heat. Now second part, second heat zone is temperate zone. So where this temperate zone is located, children? It lies between Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle. See, this is temperate zone. Okay. Second one, this temperate zone, it is located between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere. Okay, this is the northern hemisphere, and this zone, it lies between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle. So here what happens? The sun rays, they are little slanting. Okay, they are little slanted. So as the sun rays are slanted in this portion, so they receive moderate sun rays, and that's why these areas, they have moderate climatic conditions. So again we will see temperate zone, it lies between Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle in southern hemisphere. Again, it again lies in Tropic of Cancer to it lies between Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. Okay. Here in the northern hemisphere, it lies this temperate zone. It lies between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle. Okay. And again here south temperate zone, it lies between Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle, this portion. Okay. So this is north temperate zone and this is south temperate zone. Here the sun rays are little slanted. Okay. The sun rays are slanted, so the intensity of sun rays is less. Understood? Here the sun rays are slanted in the south, and here in the north part again the sun rays are slanted. So the intensity of sun rays are less. That's why these areas they receive moderate climatic condition. Understood? So temperate south temperate zone and north temperate zone, they receive moderate climatic conditions. Now the third important zone is frigid zone. Okay. So this frigid zone, it lies between Arctic Circle. See children, this is the frigid zone in the north and the south. So this frigid zone, it lies between Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere, and again this frigid zone, it lies between the between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole. Okay, it lies between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole. So here the sun does not rises much above the horizon. Okay, so the rays are very slanted, and these areas they have extreme cold. Understood? So these areas they are extremely cold, as the sun rays are much above the horizon. Sun rays these areas they do not reach they do not receive the sun rays, so they are extremely cold throughout the year. So children, see this picture again, three heat zones. Okay, what are the three heat zones? Torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. So torrid zone, again here torrid zone receives maximum heat, maximum sun rays because the sun is directly overhead. Then again temperate zone, north temperate zone and south temperate zone, here the sun rays are little slanted, so they receive moderate climatic condition. And third one is frigid zone, here so the sun they does not receive any sun rays or very less sun rays, so they are extremely cold. So children, these were some important topics which we have seen today in this session. Okay. About latitudes, we have seen about the geographical features of globe, that is axis, north pole, south pole, continents and oceans. Again we have seen what are the parallels of latitudes. These circles which do not intersect, okay, and they go on decreasing till towards the poles. Total there are 90 parallels of latitude above the equator in the north, and again same 90 parallels in the south of equator. So total we get 180 parallels of latitude. Then we have seen the diagram parallels of latitudes. We have seen the video. Again we have seen the 5 important latitudes: equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. Okay, these are the 5 important latitudes. The last topic which we have seen today is the 3 different heat zones. They are torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. And among this, temperate zone, torrid zone receives maximum heat throughout the earth, and again temperate zone moderate climatic conditions, and frigid zone here the climate is cold. So children, today we have learned this much. Now today I will conclude my session. So tomorrow we will see more about the longitude. So till then, good day, have a good day and thank you very much.